Hey guys, Mike Filsame here. I'm going to show you something that I did with AI that you can do. So let's jump right in. I'm going to take a look at my screen and walk you through it. All right, welcome to another Groove.AI case study. In this case study, I'm going to show you how to generate better MidJourney prompts. Now, before we continue, I want to remind you that right now Groove.AI is in production and we're asking you to be a backer of the project. And you can get more information about that right underneath this video. And yes, we're offering a lifetime deal. Again, you can check that out right underneath this video. But since Groove.AI won't be ready until September 1st, we've decided to add value by giving you case studies for some AI tools that you can use right now. Today, we're talking about MidJourney. MidJourney uses a text-to-image system. I'm going to be demoing that for you in just a minute. The problem, if you're like me or most people, it's very difficult to write a good prompt to get what you want. But don't worry, you're in luck, because I'm going to show you a magic solution that you can do to put into ChatGPT to turn any boring prompt into a magical prompt. All right, so let's jump in. The first thing you want to do is you want to get to ChatGPT. If you don't have one, create an account. It's free. Now, I have a Plus account, so that allows me to use GPT-4, so I'm going to load that up. But it doesn't matter. If you have the free account, you'll be using GPT 3.5, and it'll work identically. So leave it here if you're a free member. If you're a Plus user like me and you're paying the 20 bucks a month, which I recommend, move it to ChatGPT 4. GPT-4 does get slightly better results than 3.5. Okay, the next thing you're going to need is MidJourney. It works inside of Discord. Discord is an app like Slack. It's very popular for communications, especially in the Twitch and gaming community. But more and more companies are using it as a forum for their members. The way that most of us use Facebook groups, this is becoming more popular. Now, if you want to learn how you can install MidJourney, don't worry, it's very simple. Right underneath the video you're watching right now, there are some resources that you can click that will bring you right to this document that you see here. Don't worry about anything you're seeing on this page right now. You're simply going to paste that into MidJourney, and I'm going to show you in about 30 seconds. But what I wanted to show you first was here in step 1, you can click right here. This will open you up into a Google document that has everything you need to know about MidJourney. There's a video here on how to install it for a beginner, plus step-by-step instructions. If you're a paid user of MidJourney, which I recommend, at least until Groove.AI comes out, this will show you how to install MidJourney on your own private Discord server, so you don't have to see all of the other images people are making. They don't get to see your images, and your images don't get lost in a flood of hundreds of images being done every minute. If you do the free version, you'll see what I'm talking about. It can be very distracting, and for a few bucks a month, I decided to go with the paid version. On top of that, I get a lot more images every month, but you do you. Underneath that, here's a video that shows you the basics of how to make an image with MidJourney, plus some step-by-step instructions. Underneath that, I gave you an image with my best settings, and there's a little video that shows you pretty much how the advanced settings in MidJourney works if you want to use them. And then over here, I gave you a bonus video. Now, I've locked in a timestamp for this video for 7 minutes and 5 seconds. That's where you want to skip to. This talks about MidJourney's Describe tool. I'm going to read it. This allows users to upload any image and receive text prompts that describe the image. So what that means, if you see an image that you like anywhere on the web, you can now use their Describe feature as outlined in that video, and it will give you a prompt that can replicate that you could use on your own, and it would be royalty free. All right, that's it for now. Let's talk about how MidJourney images work and how we can make them better. So I'm going to close this document here. Okay, let's go over to Discord. Now remember, I gave you a video that shows you how to do this. So I'm just going to go and assume that you've watched that video and you know how to do it. I'm going to hit / to bring up the prompts. I'm going to click on the Imagine prompt. As you can also see here, there's the Describe prompt that I was just talking about. But we're going to go with the Imagine prompt. And I'm going to paste in here a man and a child in a bakery in the style of Norman Rockwell. I'm going to hit Enter, and we're going to let it bake that image. It's going to take about 30 to 45 seconds. I'm going to pause the video and we'll be right back. Okay, right now you see it's at 0%, and now it's at 15%, 62%, 93%, and it's complete. To look at the images, I can simply click on here and then click open in a browser. And I have to tell you, these images are okay, but not, in my opinion, in the true style of Norman Rockwell. So I'm going to close this, and now we're going to go and create a magical prompt that you could use over and over again to get even better images. So now I'm going to go back to this document, which is underneath the video that you're watching right now. And then I'm simply going to copy paste everything in here one at a time to ChatGPT. It's that simple. Ready? Let's get started. I'm going to take this first prompt. I'm not really too concerned about its replies, and I'm just going to hit paste and go. Now I want to rename this Better MidJourney Prompts. All right, 12 more prompts to go. I'm going to take this here, and I'm just going to copy, and I'm going to paste I have this little thing because I don't want to waste tokens here. Wait, just answer with red. So that's why all of these say that. So we're just going to go to the next one here. I'm simply going to paste this in here like that. We're going to continue with this. And now we're going to do the next one. Basically what we're doing is I went to MidJourney and I got all of the rules. I'm teaching ChatGPT how MidJourney works. This is like magic. So let's continue. I'm going to go to prompt 6. We're halfway done now. It's this simple. You're simply going to do everything that I'm doing right here. You don't have to worry about what it responds with. We're going to go here to prompt 7. Okay, now I will give you some examples. Okay, we have to wait for that to finish. I'll hit enter. We're going to go back, get prompt 8. We're almost done. I'm now going to paste that in here. We're going to go get prompt 9. Okay, great. Do you understand how MidJourney works? Yes or no? Now it should say yes when we're done here. Okay, let's see if it says yes or no. It should say yes. Great, it answers yes, I understand. So now we're just gonna give it a few more prompts to continue to learn. Great, here's a few more examples, just like this. We're gonna paste that in there. And then finally, over here, one more big prompt like this, and then we are done. Let's just wait for this to finish. Okay, paste this really big one in there. Let that do its job. Okay, now I recommend if you go through, you're gonna see what's going on is we're telling it to use different types of cameras and lenses and aperture and settings and f-stops and time of day and all of these different things to create these rich, beautiful prompts. So now, watch what's gonna happen. We're gonna go back in, take this last prompt right here, and I'm going to tell it now, finally, to act as a professional photographer. Your goal is to capture the essence of the subject matter in an impressive way. Describe the perfect image in terms of lighting and composition and subject matter, and what type of camera and setup and equipment will be used to achieve the shot. Consider the time of day, weather, and any other environmental factors that could affect the shot, but mostly take inspiration from the formatting from the example prompts. Don't copy them, but use the same format. Now, I said rule, never end in a period. The correct way to end is V5, not V.5, because if it puts a period here, which sometimes you're going to get an error inside of Discord. I know how to fix, but I didn't want you to think the whole thing didn't work because it put a stupid period at the end. But let's get to the magical prompt. As you can see here, I'm telling it the first prompt I want you to create is a man and a child in a bakery in the style of Norman Rockwell. This is the same one we used before, but watch what it's going to do now. Okay, you can see now it's creating a much better prompt than simply a man and a child in a bakery in the style of Norman Rockwell. Now it's saying a heartwarming and nostalgic scene of a man and a child in a cozy bakery, reminiscent of the classic Norman Rockwell painting, full of warmth, intricate details, and a sense of storytelling. The photograph captures the tender moment when a man, likely the child's father or grandfather, teaches the young child the art of baking, with the bustling activity of the bakery serving as a backdrop. The composition is carefully arranged to emphasize the interaction between the two characters, while also showcasing the charming, vintage-inspired decor of the bakery. To achieve this shot, a Canon EOS 5D Mark V, etc., etc., etc. Can you see now the difference between what we put in MidJourney before that looked like this, a child in a bakery? Look, we don't have the imagination to write all of that stuff, especially when we're in a hurry. But now I can simply take this prompt like this with telling it the camera, the shutter speed, and watch the magic that's going to happen now. I'm going to type in imagine, and I'm just going to now hit paste right there where it says prompt, and I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to let it bake. And like I said, it takes about 45 seconds to a minute. So let's just wait. All right, at 15%, we got our first image, 62% of the way done, 93% of the way done. Okay, now we are finished. Now let's take a look at the original one that we had before, where you're seeing this here, right? It's not quite Norman Rockwell. I mean, look, these things aren't bad at all, right? And look, art is subjective, but now let's look at the one that we just did. This is the new one, okay? I'm gonna click on here. I'm going to open this in the browser. Now, if you were to ask me, I think these look much better than the previous ones. There's so much more warmth and care and love and detail that's going on in here compared to the previous one. So when you're done, whichever one you like, what you do inside of Discord is you simply can upscale 1 to version 3 or version 4, or you can get new versions of, these are variants of 1, 2, 3, and 4. but I'm going to choose, let me see. I'm going to go with version 3 right here, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to take version 3. I'm going to click upscale. That's going to take about 10 seconds to fully bake into a nice 4K version. And there we go. Just like that, I have a nice 4K version. As you can see, it takes a while for it to load inside of my browser. Okay, but we're not done. Now I want to show you how you make prompts in the future. What you're simply going to do is take this anytime. Don't ever delete this ChatGPT thread, because now all you'll ever need to do is come into your Better MidJourney prompt and simply type in generate a prompt of A. And now you can get rid of the colon and the parentheses there. And let's come up with a prompt. Okay, here's what I came up with. Generate a prompt of a man like the Fonz on a motorcycle in a street in a New York City village in the style of Happy Days, photorealistic. I'm going to hit enter and let's see the magical prompt that it comes up with for me. Okay, do you see the power of ChatGPT here? It knows who the Fonz is, a Fonz-like figure with his leather jacket. Kids, if you don't remember the Fonz, then you're not in the Generation X generation like I am that grew up loving the show Happy Days. So you may not get the reference, but anybody from my generation is going to appreciate the photo that we're about to get. Okay, it's all done. I'm going to copy this. Okay, and as you can see, the difference between our normal prompts that we're going to put in there will now get turned into this, and now we could get some really stunning types of images. So I'm going to just put in my Imagine prompt here. I'm going to paste that in, and I'm going to let it bake that, and we're going to come back in about 1 minute. All right, and we're done. Let's take a look by clicking on here and then clicking on open in a browser. And here we got different versions. Man, I think this is absolutely gorgeous. This looks right out of a New York City village. I love this right here. This is just stunning. I'm going to upscale one of these and let's see. I'm going to do this one right here. It looks like something right out of West Side Story. So let's upscale number 1. All right, and there it is. We'll open that up in a browser. And now I can just right click this and save it to my hard drive and I've got this image. That's how you can create any image that you want. Now remember, once you get that prompt, you can modify some of these things here. If you want it to be less lifelike or in the style of the Avengers or Marvel Comics or Pixar, you name it, you can put that in the original prompt here or even modify some of the prompts here. So that's it. That's how you generate better MidJourney prompts. I hope you enjoyed this video. We will have more case studies for you coming up. Make sure to look out in your inbox. So what are you still doing here? Click that button right underneath this video and stay tuned for more emails and more case studies about AI. We'll see you soon.
Now get ready for the power of Groove.AI. Become a backer of Groove today.